Hi guys, it's Evelyn again. Twin Flames 3344. I just did a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and I'm going to pull some oracle cards, but I'm going to pull from the Good Tarot as well right now to see what kind of energies come up for the day. The theme today was definitely about the Queen from Alice in Wonderland walking around chopping everyone's heads off. But to remember that she's just a card, a caricature, and how funny is it to just see her, chopping everyone's heads off, while the King of Cups is running around trying to save everybody and tell them, don't worry, you're not going to get killed. That's the kind of energy that's coming up, that don't forget that life is just, all the world is a stage. And it's just a fun journey. And to make it that way, play it as it's a game. Have fun with it, is the message. And a lot of England and Beatles, and the Queen Elizabeth came up, so I'm just imagining her all day as that Queen of Cups, going around chopping everybody's heads off as the card. And she's so little now; she's 93. So I don't know what's going on with that, but all the Beatles songs came up in the read, and Queen Elizabeth, and Ben came up. So there's a lot about England, so something's going on there for sure. And we ended the read today was with the transition card, so we're definitely in a portal again. I had gotten before like the 23rd to 24th, and then the 29th and the 30th and 31st today. So I was getting the gates opening, but today I'm actually getting the death card of the portal. So it's definitely wide open right now. And going into the new moon. Okay, so it's like prepping into the new moon energies. And so let's see what we have from this deck. This is the Good Tarot. And it is May 31st, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And God, please armor us all with your love. Let's clear all the negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned. And filling those empty spaces with only beautiful, organic love and diamond light. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, what's to come up? A couple different little packets came up here. Does this want to come out as well? These are good because these are good for me to read. I get some good psychic messages from these cards. The bottom of the deck is 3 of water. Alright, so 3 of cups. So it's reversed. Let me see. Get the light more on that. Okay. So that's the 3 of water reversed, or the 3 of cups. And just so you see what it looks like upright, so you have an idea what it is. And if you didn't watch my other video, I woke up and went outside to meet a dragonfly that was beautiful. I showed the picture, and I may put it up as, I'll put it up as the tag for this, which you probably have seen. But this dragonfly was like posing for me. I have him sitting on, him or her, whatever it was, sitting on like 5 different leaves in the garden. Like they would fly, but they wouldn't leave. They would just fly to another branch close by. And I literally have a picture staring right at him. He didn't flinch. He was so cute. And I love talking about the dragonflies because they mate in a heart. Alright, so the 3 of water as the underlying energy. And this is like a weird fish. Well, that's what it looked like, a fish human, like a fish face though. But it's not. It's actually, she's holding 3 clamshells with pearls in them. We talk about the pearl all the time. That's like the fat. It's the rejection stuff and getting the bacteria out and what beauty it creates. But when it's reversed, it's about overindulgences with the 3 of cups, But this is about losing those pearls because of not having taken action, or carelessness, overindulgences, gossip, third-party situations, all of that stuff. That's coming up as the underlying energy. So the first card that came up from here is a call, but it's reversed. So this is like the judgment card, but it's also like a call, and then this would be not calling back. or not calling at all. But it's definitely coming up as in judgment. Maybe someone deliberating a call. But remember what happens with deliberation is, right, that's the why in the road. That's the place where you get in your head, as opposed to just making a choice, go one direction or the other. And that is what gets you out of your head. So it's about deliberating that call to action in that third-party situation, or gossip or overindulgence is going on right now. So some people may be drinking too much for sure. The next two cards that came up are Ten of Earth and Two of Fire reversed. So they look like this. And so you see the giraffe right side up, and you know what he looks like that. So the Ten of Earth is all about the family, family legacy, money, all that kind of stuff. Extended family, the big family. The Two of Fire is reversed. The Two of Wands is reversed. And there's no choice in this picture, right? I'm getting one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do, okay? Because although it's that choice, that Two of Fire, which traditionally is choosing a path, is there really a path in front of them? We don't know. We just see a giraffe holding a light and someone who looks sad and kind of just hanging out on the giraffe. What do we do? Where do we go from here? They may be lost. It's very foggy. They can't see, even with the light. They're having trouble seeing their way forward, which is the message. But as it's reversed, they may see that they have each other, that they don't need anything else, that they have no options. They're already connected, the giraffe and the person. Okay, so there's really nowhere to go, nowhere to be. You have everything you need, just inside of you. The Ten of the Earth, the salt of the earth. You have abundance. You have the ultimate family. You're connected. You're one. All you need is gratitude and acceptance and patience. You have everything you need. Just to stay imbalanced and to enjoy what you have. Because in this card, you know, if the giraffe was upright, they have the means to get out. They have the Ten of Pentacles. That's a lot of money. But they don't see it that way. They only see the loss of not being together. And yet they are. They are connected. They just don't see the light. Or they don't see the path through the fog. It just needs to clear, and that just takes patience. Okay? Okay, so the next two cards that came up are Justice reversed and the Eight of Water. Okay, and then this is Justice upright, so you see the card. Okay, so it's the, you know, the injustice coming up in having to walk away. But in this card, he's waiting for the ship to come in to get him. He's got some treasure. He's not destitute. But are those pirates going to come in and steal it from him? He's got no safety net. He's left hung out to dry, basically stranded on the rocks with the emotional waters around him. He's got his treasure, but nowhere to go. So it's like the other card. He has all this money, if he could do anything, but he's stranded on a rock. So what do you do with money if you're stranded on the rock in the middle of the ocean? It's not going to help you if this ship coming in is pirates who steal it from you and leave you for dead. The injustice of it all. That may be very much how the masculine's feeling. Or the feminine as well. And I'm getting don't fence me in again. Someone's still wearing a little bit of a mask, and that's part of the problem. Someone is holding more value of their money over love, waiting for their ship to come in. And we talked about in the masculine read today, it's not about, the balance is about people and energy, money, all those things that you need in your life. And that, of course, money can't buy love. So when you're not abundant or feeling abundant, then you focus on love and loving your family and your children, because that always brings abundance. It only works one way. You can't just have money and expect love to come, but you can have just love and expect abundance to come. So the injustice of this person feeling like they have the money but not the love, and all that's out there in the ocean coming toward them is a ship, and it may be just people to steal something because they have trust issues. So if you have trust issues, it's 11:11, that's what you're going to draw in. So you need to learn to open your heart more and know that you don't have to decide to trust or not trust someone until the moment you meet them. These guys may be great guys and may want to help him. So don't judge a book by its cover, and don't assume anything. And even if they are negative, maybe they're different than they were before last time you saw them. It's about opening your heart and opening over and over again, each time. And you always know what to do. Be loving and kind, stand up for yourself, and when triggered or you can't handle the situation, it's time to walk away and get out of there. That's what you do every time. So never to close yourself, not to fence yourself in, but to keep yourself open, just knowing what the plan is. And that takes away the anxiety of not knowing what to do. You always know what to do. So there's never any worry or nervousness. Okay? So let go of the injustice. This could be waiting for a divorce to come in, or waiting for a settlement to come in, or waiting for an inheritance to come in. Could be all of those things. Then we have the Page of Air and the Four of Air together. Four of Air is reversed. And so you see the other card right side up. So the Page of Air, is the communicator, the message, but it's immature communication, or small. They have their wings wide open. They're ready to say whatever comes out of their mouth because it's a child. It's immature communication. It may not be nasty or mean or with ill intent, but they're immature still, so it could be mean to someone else. Four of Air is reversed, and the Four of Swords is about that rest and meditation, and when it's reversed, it's about rising above or not sleeping well, right? Or even levitating. But here, this child is wide open. They have their feathers, beautiful card, with a few feathers up in the air. 3 looks like they're floating. No, there's more than that. So it's like they're alone, but the child knows to just have a party with themselves if I'm alone. I'll dance and pull my feathers out and throw them up in the air. I'll just have a party of one, please. And then we have the Four of Air of rising above their situation, rising above their means. She's sitting there, confused, or not necessarily sad, just maybe confused and needing to think on it. But here is no longer a need to think. And it's interesting because those 3 pearls that were reversed are now in the same pattern as her head dress. Okay? So those little cups with the pearls in them are upside down. That's her hat that she had and no longer have now because the pearls fell out. Needing to rise above the loss of material things. Or rumors or gossip, as the Page of Air is there. But rising above all of it, they're just words after all. You know who you are. All you have to do is be authentic to yourself. and send your own message. It's very airy, airy-fairy, and someone could deem you as that, as a feminine. Or maybe the masculine's worried about being seen that way. Or someone received a message and is nervous on how to reply. Maybe sleeping on it, you know, to figure out what to do, how they want to approach that situation. And then we have the Ace of Air, which is beautiful. Okay. So the Pegasus, that's the truth. The Ace of Swords is just purity. Purity and beauty. It's love, right? The Ace of Air is the truth. The truth will set you free. Come fly with me. So that's coming up again. And now it's 1616. 1616 is the Tower. As the truth comes out and will set you free. Don't be afraid of the truth. Even if initially, you know, you're scared of what people will think of you, it ultimately just sets you free, and you'll be surprised. There'll be some people who don't think it's a big deal at all that you thought were going to be very dramatic about it. So ultimately that is the message here. To set yourself free. The truth will always set you free. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, let's go into the past life deck. Okay, clear and align. Fill with only beautiful organic light. Just in time. Just in time. I was getting the minute before the hour in the read. I was getting Big Ben, the clock tower. The stroke before, instead of midnight, it was before 9 a.m. it was. 9 p.m. as well. But it's much more about, instead of midnight, the actual time of the moon cycle perhaps, or just the hermit, the wise one, the collective consciousness. The minute before the hour of awakening, of reckoning. And it's 5/31, 2019. The hour, the minute before the hour, because now tomorrow's June. I want to spoon, not in May, but the month of June. Okay, so for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? So we have that's very similar to the other energy. And these three. And that's it. The bottom is the farm. So we have the horse again. We just had Pegasus. Okay. That's the underlying energy here. And the first card out was the unicorn reversed. So horse is very significant here. It's reversed and he looks sad. Okay. So when he's upright, you know, he's just very beautiful and strong and lovely. Doesn't necessarily look sad, but here he actually looks sad, he or she. So somebody is sad because they did not use their wisdom. They didn't use their intuition. They didn't use their pure thoughts. And I'm getting the planet of the apes here. So Neanderthal man, so masculine may be beating himself up about that. And then we have the unrequited love and imprisonment or slavery is reversed. So like this. Okay. So there's definitely someone here who was not happy with him. Don't fence me in. So someone got their get out of jail free card. So it's about, this is definitely karmic energy, whether it's a karmic partner or a mother. A masculine has set themselves free, or a feminine has also set themselves free from a masculine if they aren't being good to them. It's definitely all about that. There's no bones about that. No bones. Not going there, but so it's definitely about that. So there may be some, no arousal or attraction here, but also seeing that's what it is, a spineless man, a man without bones. Could be a spineless woman as well. But someone taking off, I was definitely getting that in the masculine read today too. Someone's like a bat out of hell, taking off, away, freeing themselves. Don't want to be fenced in. Certainly not with that monk, right? With someone hating them. Okay? So nobody wants to be around someone who doesn't like them. The next three cards that came up are Asia reversed, leaving or travel, and karmic relationship. Okay, so this is definitely about the karmic relationship. So that is upright, leaving or travel, and then Asia is reversed. So the typical Asian society is very strict and not so compassionate about people's emotions, It's like black or white, you do this or you don't. Or off with your head, right? So this is reversed though. So it's not about being all about the solar plexus. It's letting that kind of treatment go. And the Tang Dynasty came up the other day, so that's coming up here too. The Orient Express as well. Since leaving or travel, somebody may be going to the Orient. Somebody might be traveling for the military to the Orient. Or a karmic relationship is traveling south or east. So east could be going back, because that's the sunrise. Somebody may be going back to try a karmic relationship again, maybe trying to go away together to see if they can fix things between them. But there's no love loss here, so it's really a moot point, is what I'm getting. That somebody could be going to the Orient, or it's just kind of the energy around it, very harsh, but trying to let go, trying not to be both in their solar plexus, right, and arguing or fighting, because one has to be right over the other, trying not to be so severe. So thinking if they take a vacation away that it will change things between them and maybe fix things. It also could be someone leaving, but on good terms. Someone might just be leaving to go away to the Orient, or a trip was canceled to the Orient. So it's more about, the Orient's not happening. But it's also about the harshness of the culture. That needs to be turned around. It definitely could be partying on in a good way. Like someone's leaving on a jet plane, but they're both okay with it, so they can remain friends. They won't be harsh with each other anymore if they just remain friends and nothing else. Or someone's being sent on a mission to travel back in time. Akashic records are coming up here for sure. To find out where it all started. Masculines may be trying to figure out where it all began, why they feel this way, and what's the deal with the karmic relationship, and why they can't get along. And it could come from an Asian life, okay? Or a military life, or a salesman type life on the road all the time with no security. On a with a one-track mind. Also, the templating of the soldier leaving, being the hero, but going away, and some of them thinking they're excited they're leaving because they get to sleep around and do whatever they want. Meanwhile, the partner's waiting at home for them, worrying about them dying. And some of the men felt it was their right to do whatever they want because they might die. So then, of course, falling apart. I'm just getting Asia Minor again. Dirty. Dirty, dirty man. Dirty suitcase, dirty traveling salesman. Not trust, so the trust issue comes up again here. Not trusting people who don't have a home. Not trusting people who are always on the road because they're probably sleeping around. Yeah, definitely trust issues. About traveling back in time. No problem with traveling to anywhere but Asia, so this must be a big wound for someone coming up here. And it could have to do, could have to do with Japan and World War II and Hawaii, Pearl Harbor. Okay, someone's got a Pearl Harbor wound that needs to come up. And the chain of events that led up to it. And some people packing to leave with no intentions of ever coming back, but yet not telling the other person that, which is kind of coming up as the wound for the feminine, having been left behind, kind of hanging. You know, the masculine have given very loving vibes to her, and yet never solidified it or sent them away or anything either way, but being left hanging when someone goes away to travel, not trusting they will ever come back. So how can you have patience and not be afraid when everyone in your past lives has either died or cheated on you or never come back? Or came back in a casket, that type of thing. So there's a lot of wounding there about that. Here. So we have, and the cards were 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 came up earlier, and it's literally 1, 2, 3 jump. It's time to take that leap of faith, to get past your trust issues, to get past unrequited love, and don't fence me in. Nobody can fence you in but yourself. Because we make all our choices, and some of them are unwise ones, which is coming up here. And the underlying energy is the farm. It's much simpler, a much simpler life. And that may be what we're all seeking. Going back to nature, being organic, and slower. But horses are a major theme here as well. Because war and battles reversed is up here, so the Civil War reversed. Under the horse on the farm. So the horses are very happy that we're not in a civil war right now, because for them it's peace. I want to show the horses here, because they came up 3 times, right? So from different things. Okay, these are the 3 horses that came up together. Okay. So it's like horses of horses past timelines as well, or galactic timelines. Okay, so the horse of the 3D, and then we have the, the Pegasus and the unicorn. But you notice the unicorn is the only one that's reversed. Because the unicorn is the only one that has Excalibur, the truth. The unicorn can't be set free because the unicorn is the only one who has the truth, but no one else will see it. They're pretending like all is well. So how can the Divine Feminine deal with the truth when it's unresolved forever, as long as she lives with it and the masculine doesn't come forward? because she feels him every day. She feels his love. She feels the sexual energy. How could she ever stop thinking about him, even if just a little bit? It's it's that struggle every day to stay at 0 point. When you are not wise, impure thoughts, it's just representing the feminine as a third party, right? Being seen as the unwise one, the impure one. That's what it is. Oh, here, look. And here is coming up as, right? So if this is the third party, the impure one, and then the word short, look, it says arm there. If we cut off the card, I'm sorry, I can't see with my fingers there. All right, so arm, right? It's like cutting off his left arm or right arm or whatever the expression is, right? So if you have the person they're codependent on, and then you have the dirty one, right? He's considered impure, unwise, but this is the only person with the real truth. These two codependent on each other to live, right? The air that we breathe, down on the farm. How can we get all the chores done, right? When this person's not going to help me take care of the rest of the family. It's kind of that energy coming through, okay? So many chores, right? The masculine can't imagine that the feminine would want to take care of any of that or help him with that. He would help him, he would just fall. Unravel, so raveling is coming up here too. Ions is the connection. There needs to be a kinship. To unravel, oh, Viking lineage is coming up here too. Vikings. Karmic Viking relationship, so that's Akashic records as well. And ing, so I don't know why ing is coming up. That's coming up. Very high vibration. Arterial venous fistula is coming up as well, right? So you can be overstimulated. That's the salesman mentality, is overstimulation, right? So when you have a fistula of an artery and a vein, it's an abnormal connection between them, so there's overflow, overstimulation of the vessels, so that's not good. Or a false connection, right? It's not the true connection, it's the false connection. It's not real, it's just a substitute for the real thing. That's what I'm getting. And I'm getting here too, it's like the leaving for war, right? Leaving for war, and him really actually wanting to go to the Orient, right? Because he can fool around there easily with the dark girls. Okay, so it's definitely about the cheater mentality and trust issues, all of those things. So going away and being able to trust each other in a relationship. Don't fence me in. So if you have two people who love each other and trust each other, they don't ever they never feel fenced in because they trust and love each other. That's the whole point. So we've 1, 2, 3, jump. Just close your eyes and jump. It's about taking that leap of faith. And then the other deck was 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. So there's 8 cards there, and then 6 here. So we have 8, 6, which the read today for the masculine started out with that, with 86, the shadow, or the devil side, the Satan. out of the relationship. Keep that out. Like keep the money, that also came up in the read today, to keep the money separate from the relationship. Yep. All right, let's just pull a, yeah, so 6 of love, 1, 2, and 3. So it's the masculine, feminine, and the 3 of coming together. But these things need to be worked out, all right? You need to trust each other. 1, 2, and 3, and then again, masculine, feminine, 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 masculine. So he may feel like she gets her way more often than him. Okay, so it's about, you know, fairness in a relationship, because that was all about the read today as well, the 6 of Pentacles coming up, and equitable distribution, but also share, you know, equal sharing and helping each other out in a relationship that's a partnership of balance. And just, let's get a card from the Journey of Love. Let's see what that says. Okay. Take another deep breath. May 31st, last day of May 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn from the Journey of Love? Okay, what is it we need to know here? Okay. The bottom of the deck is Heartfire number 1, which is the Magician. Okay, very red. And the high vibration of the rose of the red. But there's also yellow and white in there, the Christ consciousness. The card that came out is Spiral Dance of the Goddess, which is very much that olive. So it's olive oil and Popeye. But the olive oil is good for everything. For your skin, for your body. And this always reminds me of the ovaries. The fallopian tubes. But an olive oil. But it's about Popeye and olive oil. It's the greens. Spinach and greens. Olives. 29 is the 3 of Wands, of staying present and appreciating what's right in front of you. The green, the love, even if it is an army tent of this olive green, right? Even if it's military, right? Even if it's not the green color that you like. There's some illness here with the heart. All right, so somebody might be dealing with cardiac cath, or just, you know, just ill in energy. So they need their energy cleared, their chakras cleared. And the second card came out as well separately, gifts received, okay? So again, we were talking about someone, I got a header today where a thumb was cut off, a right thumb was cut off to gift to a guru. Gifts received. And also there's like little fairy orbs in this picture. So, but you can see them really well against the dark green of the woods. So you might want to take a walk in the woods. It's 13. I have gifts received. And they're both, you see, very green, but very different greens. Okay? So the green of illness and the green of life. Spiral Dance of the Goddess and gifts received. Different shades of green. Don't fence me in. It's like saying, they're telling you like 50 shades of gray, but 50 shades of green. Okay, so that could be money, it could be heart, it could be military, it could be environment, right? There's all sorts of shades of green. There's plenty of variety for you guys. They're all gifts. It's just the journey, how we get there, the spiral on the way up. So let's see what comes out here. And you never know who's going to show up in that green, like my dragonfly today. He was beautiful, blue. I showed the picture on my Divine Masculine, so if you want to check it out, really beautiful. I got like 5 different settings of him. I couldn't believe how close I got to him. And multiple pictures of it, not just one. So 29 is the first card out. Spiral Dance of the Goddess. From a point of light unfolding, we become a soul, then incarnate into a sacred body, and our lives become a work of divine art, a speck of heavenly presence manifesting itself through dimensions of time and space and into a life on earth made manifest. The extraordinary fact of your existence is a divine happening. As though the light of the moon is dancing not only upon the water, but inside of it, your ancient light is dipping into the mud of the earth. This is how the soul becomes a divine human in the making. As you sense yourself moving and shifting from light to dark and back again, from knowing to unknowing, you are weaving your consciousness, your divinity, into sacred expression. Don't forget the energy loops like this, so it always falls back a little bit to go ahead. You are weaving your consciousness into expression, manifesting your soul essence into the form of your life. Threading the light through the darkness without even realizing you're doing it, you are gently impregnating the matter of your body, of your life, with light. Your body and your life become luminous, radiant, and you assist others even just through your presence. It sounds wonderful, and it is, yet it is not always an easy path. As the light travails through darkness, pain and suffering can arise in waves. Best to be present to it, trust that it is not a permanent condition, and wait for the spiral to twist from dark to light again, always moving closer and closer to the purity of the center and expanding outward eternally, as though you were being inhaled by the divine, filling cosmic lungs as they reach far and wide, taking in all of life. The message of this oracle to you is that you are growing. You are bringing more of your light into form. You may be meeting obstacles in yourself and in the world, but this is because you are bringing through the light. If there were nothing happening, there would be no obstacle. Bless them as signs that you are proceeding and empower them no more. You shall be, all else, just divine timing. And the poem says, the inner movement, an expressive flow, an outward breath of dance and light, becoming one, becoming free. Don't fence me in. Okay? So gifts received is number 13. And 13 says, relax, it's okay to accept what is coming your way now. Gentle your soul and steady your heart. Even the most precious treasure can be received by you, and why not? You are built of the same stuff as that treasure, beloved. It's all love, after all. That is all that there is. Enjoy, accept, rest in the knowledge that you are being invited into sanctuary of abundance, peaceful rest and replenishment now. It's just time. And all of that stuff came up in the read today. This oracle holds a message for you. The universe is trying to get something to you. More abundance, more love, an answer to a prayer. Sometimes the healing comes in unexpected packages, and sometimes we try so hard to find the answer, exerting so much effort to receive, that we make things harder for ourselves than they need to be. So just relax and have some fun. Be at peace. Everything is working out just fine, and there's a nice surprise coming your way. And it simply says, the wind blows softly through grass and my open heart. Love, unexpected. Okay? So, and definitely surprise came up in the read too. You should definitely check out the read, because all that stuff came up today. And I'm going to get going, but make sure you treat yourselves well and have that fun. Drink your water, get your rest. Just rise and be loved. Bye.